And just again, for our audience, for people maybe who don't know the history of Keynes or don't study economics, this is basically a form of government intervention for the government to spend money to buy things that are not being purchased on the so-called free market, the private market. And as a consequence, it primes the pump. It stimulates production because it provides a buyer for goods that otherwise won't be bought. And that's what, oversupply, so-called overproduction, that leads to these 5 to 7 year recessions, depressions, et cetera. Now, if we think back to the 1930s, Richard, where Keynesian politics and Keynesian's economic program basically was adopted by FDR and the New Deal, where the government actually did spend a lot of money, that primed the pump and the economy started to recover again. Before, by 1931, 1 out of every 4 workers in the U.S. was unemployed. But by 1933, 34, it started to recover a little bit with the help of Keynesian economic stimulus. But by 1937 or 38, it crashed again. It was going back into recession. And it was really only the spending, the massive spending for war, getting ready for World War II, that sort of ended the mass unemployment in the United States. And then the U.S. won the war. Europe was destroyed. Japan was destroyed. The means of production were destroyed all over the world. They had to be rebuilt. There was a new market after World War II. And the U.S. had this preponderance of economic, political, and military power to take advantage of that. I just wonder, when we think about whether or not Keynesian economics could work, I noticed, and I know you follow German politics closely, that the new incoming German government, it's a Christian Democratic Union government, a conservative government, has announced that the German economic policy is going to change. Rather than having a balanced budget approach to everything, which has been the policy of the German government, that it too is going to resort to Keynesian type economic stimulus by expanding government spending, but it will be for weapons of war. Again, it seems to be like an additional sort of amount of gasoline on a fire. If it's not a full scale fire yet, it's certainly getting started. Anyway, your thoughts?